Hey y'all, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your loose change, saw a quarter, and thought, hey, this thing could be worth more than lunch money? Well, hold on to your hats and check your cup holders, because today we're diving deep into a coin that might just blow your socks off. I'm talking about the 2016 Mint Mark quarter. Yep. Just your average looking, regular OL quarter. But here's the twist, one of these bad boys is worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. That's right, $1.6 million. That's not a typo. That's not Monopoly money. That's a house. That's a Ferrari. That's early retirement with a side of tacos for life. So how on earth does a 25-cent coin turn into $1 million miracle? Buckle up, grab your magnifying glass, and maybe dig into that old sock drawer, because we're going full treasure hunt mode today, and stick around, because I've got a real story about the time I almost spent a rare coin on a gas station burrito. Not my proudest moment, but hey, it's a lesson you won't forget. Alright, let's talk about the 2016 Fort Moultrie quarter. This quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, which launched in 2010 and ran all the way through 2021. Each coin highlights a different national park or historic site. Pretty cool, right? Now in 2016, one of the designs released was the Fort Moultrie quarter, honoring South Carolina. The front of the coin, like always, has our buddy George Washington looking stoic. The back? A detailed scene of Sergeant William Jasper during the Battle of Sullivan's Island in 1776. Super patriotic, and here's the kicker, this coin looks completely normal. Totally harmless. You wouldn't even give it a second glance while feeding it to a parking meter, but that little P under "In God We Trust" is where the magic begins. Let me explain with a metaphor. Imagine you're in a bakery. You buy a dozen donuts. 11 are just fine. But the 12th one? That one has gold sprinkles and a message from Elvis inside. That's what this 2016 quarter is like. A regular batch, with a weird, wonderful, million-dollar twist. What's considered a flaw by the Mint is a jackpot for collectors. It could be a misprint, a double die, an off-center strike, or even a coin struck on the wrong metal, and in the case of our 2016 Fort Moultrie quarter, one specific error has sent its value soaring through the roof. This rare version was struck on a planchet meant for a silver dollar. That means the quarter wasn't even supposed to exist, and the metal composition, weight, and color? All wrong, but in the best way possible. Only one known example with this error is confirmed. Point one coin. That's it. Like finding a needle in a haystack if the haystack is made of quarters. Now imagine having that coin and not knowing it. You're standing at a vending machine, pressing the button for trail mix, and that $1 million quarter is inside, saying, "Don't do it, Steve." But you press the button anyway, and just like that, the trail mix wins, which brings me to my own personal horror story. I'm cleaning out my junk drawer, that mysterious place where scissors, batteries, and expired coupons go to die. I find a quarter that just feels weird. It's shinier than usual, a bit heavier, and the edge has this strange reading that just looks off. Now, I'd been dabbling in coin collecting at that point. Nothing too serious. More like, hey, I'll Google this during commercial breaks kind of collecting. Anyway, I pocket the coin and forget about it. Later that day, I stop at a gas station, low on fuel and high on hunger. They got these questionable looking burritos under a heat lamp. You know the ones I mean. I go to pay. I grab my change, including that mystery quarter, and drop it on the counter. Then, get this, the guy behind the counter picks up the quarter, squints at it, and goes, "Hey, this looks weird." He calls over the manager. They look it over. Turns out, that coin was a rare error quarter from the same America the Beautiful series, not the 2016 one, unfortunately, but it got me thinking, what if I had spent $1 million coin on a burrito? To this day, I double-check every quarter. No regrets about the burrito. Regrets about what could have been? Absolutely. And now, let's get into how you can spot the $1 million quarter. It should show Fort Moultrie and Sergeant William Jasper holding the regimental flag. A standard quarter weighs 5.67 grams. The error coin may weigh slightly more because of the wrong metal planchet. A good digital scale is your friend here. The coin may look shinier or more silver toned than a typical quarter. Check for reading errors or uneven spacing. If any of these seem off, don't spend it. Don't toss it in your change jar, get it checked. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. You could be sitting on $1 million mystery. As of right now, The 2016 Fort Moultrie quarter with the rare planchet error is estimated at around $1.6 million in mint condition. That's not just a high number someone threw out online. That's an actual, verified market estimate from experts and auction results. People pay big money for rarity and history. This coin checks both boxes. There are tons of error coins floating around, doubled dies, off strikes, clipped planchets, heck, even coins with grease-filled dies can fetch a couple $100. The key is learning what to look for, staying curious, and treating your pocket change like it might just pay your mortgage, alright? Coin hunters. Let's recap. You've got a 2016 Fort Moultrie quarter out there that's worth $1.6 million because of a rare mint error. It's shiny, it's heavy, it's the unicorn of quarters, and someone out there might have it right now, buried in a couch cushion. Maybe it's you, maybe it's in that dusty jar above your fridge. Or maybe you already spent it on a questionable gas station snack. In which case, I feel you, brother, but seriously, keep your eyes peeled, check your change, get yourself a magnifier, and whatever you do, don't blindly feed a rare coin to the vending machine gods. If you enjoyed hanging out with me today, and you want more tips on coin collecting, finding hidden treasure in plain sight, and avoiding burrito-based mistakes, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit that like button like it owes you money. And drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that made your jaw drop. You never know, the next $1 million coin could be sitting in your palm right now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting. Hey folks, let me hit you with a question that could change your bank account overnight. Have you ever held a 2015 quarter in your hand and thought to yourself, man, just another quarter to toss in the vending machine? Well, if you did, you might have thrown away a shot at $1.4 million. Yep, you heard that right, 1.4 million smackers for a quarter. Now, before you start flipping over every couch cushion in a coin frenzy, grab a coffee or a soda or whatever keeps you from passing out from excitement, because this video is going to dive deep into how this ordinary looking 2015 quarter has become the holy grail of modern change. I'll also share a personal story about the time I thought I found $1 million coin, and let's just say it ended with me wearing reading glasses at the ripe age of 48. Alright, let's jump in. First off, let's talk about the 2015 quarter itself. This coin is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, and in 2015 5 designs were released, including Homestead in Nebraska, Kisatchie in Louisiana, Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, Bombay Hook in Delaware, and Saratoga in New York. Now the P on the coin means it was minted in Philadelphia, which is kind of ironic considering Philly cheesesteaks are cheap, but this quarter is worth a fortune, and we're not talking about all 2015 quarters here. Oh no, my friend, we're talking about a very specific one with a rare error that collectors are absolutely drooling over. The $1 million baby in question has a double die obverse, which means during the minting process the coin was struck twice slightly off center, causing a doubled image, mostly visible in the words Liberty and IN God we trust. Sounds fancy, right? Well, it kind of is. Add to that an unusual die crack running across Washington's hair and a weak strike on the reverse side, which makes the design appear a little faded. Why is that important? Because it's a one in a gazillion type of minting mishap, and collectors absolutely love rare errors like this. The most pristine known example was graded by PCGS as MS68, which is near perfection and sold privately for, yep, you guessed it, $1.4 million. Let that sink in. Someone traded a quarter for a mansion. Now let me tell you something that'll make you laugh. At my expense, a couple of years ago I was at a gas station and the clerk gave me a shiny 2015 quarter in my change. It looked kinda odd, so I did what any normal person would do. I held it up to the light and squinted like I was Indiana Jones trying to read ancient inscriptions. I thought for sure it was the quarter, the one worth the big bucks, so I ran home, practically kicked my door down, dumped my change onto the kitchen table, and started inspecting it with a magnifying glass I borrowed from my kid's detective kit. After 2 hours of checking it under every kind of light possible, I realized it wasn't a double die, it was just a smudge from a greasy thumb. Moral of the story: always wash your hands and never inspect coins after eating a burger. If you're serious about finding this coin, here's what you need to look for. First, check the date, make sure it's a 2015, and look for the P mint mark on the front just below the word IN God we trust. Then look closely at the lettering on the front. If it looks like it has a shadow or a double effect, especially on Liberty and the motto, that's a good sign. Next, check Washington's hairline and look for any cracks or unusual lines running across. Flip it over and see if the back looks slightly faded or weak in design. That's another red flag in a good way. And of course, if you think you found one, don't go selling it on a random internet auction site. Take it to a reputable coin dealer, or better yet, send it in for professional grading. That's how you go from maybe 25 cents to potentially $1.4 million. Now let's talk about the current market value of this coin. Right now the coin collecting world is going absolutely nuts over modern era coins, especially ones from the state in America. The Beautiful series high-grade coins with unusual errors are selling for record amounts, and the 2015 P is leading the charge. Just last month a similar coin, though not quite as pristine, sold for $800,000, and that wasn't even a confirmed MS-68 grade. Collectors are watching auctions like hawks, so if you're lucky enough to find one, you could have a bidding war on your hands. Imagine starting the day with a coffee and ending it by negotiating with millionaires from your garage. That's the dream right there. Alright, now let's talk strategy for finding coins like this. Number 1, always check your change and don't be lazy. I'm serious, some of the most valuable coins ever found were discovered by regular folks like you and me just doing laundry or grabbing a soda. Number 2, get yourself a good magnifying glass, not the kind your kid uses to fry ants in the driveway, but a real one with LED lighting and at least 10 times magnification. Number 3, learn how to spot mint errors. You don't have to be an expert, but knowing the basics can make all the difference. There are tons of free resources online and local coin shows are gold mines for information. Number 4, don't ignore modern coins. A lot of folks think valuable coins have to be old, but as this 2015 P quarter proves, new coins can be worth more than your car. And finally, number 5, be patient and have fun. Coin collecting is like treasure hunting. Some days you find a rusty washer, other days you hit the jackpot. So there you have it, folks. The 2015 P quarter that could be worth $1.4 million is out there floating around in someone's pocket or hiding under a couch cushion. It might be in your wallet right now, just waiting to change your life, but you won't know until you look. This hobby isn't just about history or money, it's about the thrill of the hunt and the stories along the way. And if you made it this far, then you're clearly serious about coins or just really like listening to my voice. Either way, I appreciate you. Before you go, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Click the bell so you don't miss the next coin that could make you rich, and drop a comment below if you've ever had a close call with a rare coin. I want to hear your stories, the good, the bad, and the greasy burger kind. Thanks for watching and happy hunting, my friends. Hey folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever checked your change and thought, it's just a quarter? Well, what if I told you one of those ordinary looking quarters could be worth $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.3 million. That's more than most of us make in a decade. It's more than a Lamborghini. It's definitely more than what I paid for my first car, which, by the way, barely had a working radio and needed a good push to get rolling every morning. We're talking about the 2014 P Everglades, Florida quarter. A state quarter you might have passed over 100 times without blinking. And today, we're gonna dive deep into why this little coin is turning heads and emptying wallets. So grab a cup of coffee, or if you're like me, a glass of sweet tea, kick back, and let's take a wild ride through coin collecting madness, hilarious personal blunders, and the treasure that might just be hiding in your piggy bank. Now, first of all, this quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, and it features the Everglades National Park. You got a big OL bird, a great egret, to be exact, looking majestic, probably wondering why the other bird in the background is photobombing it. It's nature, it's Florida, it's quarter artistry at its finest, but we're not here to critique bird poses. We're here because one of these coins, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the 2014 P Everglades quarter, has shocked collectors with its sky-high value of $1.3 million. That's not a typo. $1.3 million. Now, why would a 25-cent coin be worth more than a beachfront condo? Glad you asked. You see, coin collecting isn't just about age. It's about rarity, condition, and errors. And this particular coin? Oh baby, it's the triple threat. Let me explain like I'm talking to my Uncle Bob, who once tried to microwave a fork. The valuable 2014 P quarter has a minting error that collectors drool over. We're talking about a double die reverse. That's when the design on the back of the coin looks slightly doubled, as if the engraver had won too many espressos before clocking in. The result? A rare visual glitch that makes this coin stand out like a palm tree in a snowstorm. Not only does this coin have the error, but it's in mint state perfection. We're talking MS-68 or even MS-69 territory. That's the coin equivalent of a beauty pageant winner who also happens to be a rocket scientist. Basically, it's pristine. It's shiny. It's got more sparkle than my Aunt Linda's holiday sweater collection. Only a handful of these mint error coins exist in this condition. And when collectors hear the words "only a few known," they start throwing money like it's an auction for Elvis's blue suede shoes. Now let me tell you a little story that hits close to home. A few years back, I got into coin collecting because I found a weird-looking penny in a laundry machine. I thought, hey, maybe it's worth something. Turns out, it was just dirty. But that moment sparked an obsession. Fast forward to a garage sale last year. I'm digging through a dusty old box labeled junk drawer stuff. You know the type: batteries that don't work, rubber bands, a few dried up pens. And boom! I find a couple of state quarters. Nothing wild at first glance, until I look closer at a 2014 Everglades quarter. I whip out my magnifying glass like Sherlock Holmes and start sweating like I'm on a game show. Sadly, no. It had a scratch on it that looked like someone used it to open a can of paint. But for a brief, shining moment, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. That thrill, that feeling, is what keeps collectors going. Current market value breakdown. Let's talk money. A normal 2014 P Everglades quarter? Worth face value 25 cents. A mint state version without errors? Maybe a few bucks, but one of these error coins in flawless condition? $1.3 million. That's a verified sale in a private auction, and yes, the buyer was very serious. No one drops that kind of cash unless they know what they're doing. Now, I don't know about you, but if I find a $1.3 million coin, I'm buying myself a steak dinner, a hot tub, and a new lawnmower. Not necessarily in that order. If you're thinking, okay, how do I find this quarter without quitting my job and becoming Indiana Jones? Here's what to look for. That's from the Philadelphia Mint. It's located right next to Washington's ponytail. Check those birds. Look for doubling on the feathers, beaks, and legs. No scratches, dings, or weird gum residue. You want that baby looking factory fresh. If you think you've got a winner, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll grade it, slab it, and maybe even crown you the next coin king or queen. Hey, don't worry. Most of us don't. But here's the deal, there are dozens, maybe hundreds, of valuable coins floating around out there. In your change, your couch cushions, your glove box. Every collector's journey starts with a coin that made him stop and say, wait a second, and just like that, you're hooked. Alright, my coin curious friends, we've reached the end of the line today. From a bird-covered Florida quarter to a potential $1.3 million payday, this story is proof that sometimes the treasure is hiding in plain sight. So the next time you're about to dump a pile of coins into a Coinstar machine, stop. Check those quarters. Take a closer look. You never know when a simple Everglades coin could be your golden ticket, and if you're enjoying these deep dives into the world of coins worth big bucks, I've got plenty more stories, tips, and laugh-out-loud collecting moments coming your way. So do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on the next $1 million coin we uncover, because you never know, your next trip to the gas station might just make you a millionaire. Hey there folks, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever had over $1 million just sitting in your junk drawer? No, I'm not talking about that mystery remote control you never use or the batteries that somehow multiplied on their own. I'm talking about a plain old quarter. Yep, 25 cents. The kind you drop in a vending machine or dig out of your car's cup holder covered in old French fry salt. Well, what if I told you one of those quarters, specifically a 2001 D Kentucky State quarter, could be worth $1.2 million today? That's right. A tiny coin you probably used to buy a gumball could be the key to your early retirement. Sounds wild, right? But stick with me, because I'm about to walk you through the wild world of valuable coins, how to spot this rare gem, and what makes it so insanely pricey today. And oh boy, you do not want to miss the story I've got about my own little run-in with a fortune hidden in plain sight. Spoiler alert, it involves a thrift store cash register, an awkward conversation with a teenager, and one of the biggest coin regrets of my life. So grab your coin jar, kick back, and let's dive into why this 2001 D Kentucky quarter is lighting up the collecting world. Alright, first up, let's talk basics. The 2001 D Kentucky State Quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program that the U.S. Mint kicked off in 1999. They released 5 new state quarters every year, and these things were everywhere. If you were alive and breathing in the early 2000s, you probably remember seeing them in your change and thinking, cool, a horse. Neat. But here's where it gets interesting, the D in 2001 D stands for the Denver Mint. Most of these quarters were mass-produced, hundreds of millions. But a teeny tiny number of them, just a few, were struck with some weird and valuable errors. Now these aren't your average misprints. We're talking about die errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and some planchet mix-ups that turned a regular coin into a one-of-a-kind collector's jackpot. The most valuable version of the 2001 D Kentucky quarter that fetched $1.2 million? It had a double die reverse and was struck on the wrong planchet. That means not only is the design on the back of the coin slightly doubled, making everything from the words to the horse look shadowed and blurry, but it was also printed on the wrong kind of metal blank die. In simpler terms, it's like printing a dollar bill on a napkin. Weird, rare, and definitely not how it was supposed to happen. Now here's the kicker: these kinds of mint errors are super rare, but they slip into circulation more often than you think. And when coin collectors catch wind of them, the value goes through the roof. Why? Because collectors love weird stuff. The rarer, the better. Especially if there's a juicy story behind it. Check for the D mint mark on the front of the coin near Washington's ponytail. Look closely at the back, especially the words Kentucky and My Old Kentucky Home. If the lettering looks doubled or shadowy, you might have a double die. If the coin feels slightly lighter or heavier, or the metal looks different, it could be on the wrong planchet. And if it has any weird dents or off-center designs, don't chuck it. Take a closer look. Now let me tell you a quick story. This is where things get personal. A few years ago, I was at a local thrift store. You know, just browsing, doing that thing where you say you're just looking and then walk out with a lava lamp and a bowling trophy you didn't know you needed. Anyway, I get to the checkout, and I pay in cash. The teenage cashier gives me my change, and I glance down and notice a 2001 D Kentucky quarter. The horse stood out, and I remember thinking, haven't seen that one in a while. I flipped it over, saw the D mint mark, and for a moment, just a second, I thought, what if? But I shrugged it off and used that quarter 10 minutes later at a vending machine that ate my candy bar. Fast forward a year later, I'm watching an online auction and boom, there it is. That exact quarter, double die, struck on the wrong planchet, sold for $1.2 million. I nearly choked on my sandwich. I'm not saying it was the same coin I had, but I am saying I now inspect my change like it's the Da Vinci Code. Don't underestimate your spare change. Especially those state quarters. What looks like pocket lint today could be your ticket to early retirement tomorrow. Let's talk storage for a second. If you do find a potentially valuable coin, don't just toss it back in the coin jar or slide it into your wallet with your expired coupons. Get a soft sleeve or a coin flip. Keep it dry. Keep it clean. And for the love of George Washington, don't try to clean it with toothpaste or Windex. That stuff can wreck the coin and tank its value. Once you've got it protected, take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give you the real scoop on what it's worth. If you're lucky, it might be worth thousands or millions. And even if it's only $100, hey, that's still 4 tanks of gas or at least 1.5 trips to the grocery store these days. So, let's wrap this up. If you've got a 2001 D Kentucky State quarter lying around, don't ignore it. Don't toss it in a tip jar or feed it to a vending machine like I did. Check that bad boy out. Because hidden among the regular change are tiny treasures waiting to be found. And trust me, nothing beats the rush of realizing your couch cushions are harboring a millionaire's coin. If you enjoyed hanging out today and learning how a quarter can change your life, literally, then hit that subscribe button right now. Don't just think about it. Do it. This channel is packed with tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into payday. You don't need to be a coin expert, you just need curiosity, a good eye, and maybe a flashlight. Tap that bell so you don't miss out on the next big find. And hey, drop a comment if you've ever found something valuable in your change. Or if you've got a story about a coin you wish you hadn't spent. Thanks for watching, and remember, check your change. You never know when fortune might be riding on a horse from Kentucky. Alright fellas, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever looked at a plain old quarter and thought, nah, just 25 cents, then casually tossed it in the tip jar, vending machine, or worse, the couch cushions of doom? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about a very not-so-ordinary quarter. One that could turn you from couch diver to millionaire faster than you can say heads or tails. I'm talking about the 2000 D South Carolina State quarter. Yep, the one with the palmetto tree and that cute little bird on it. Believe it or not, there's one out there worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. And it could be hiding in your pocket, your change jar, or even that cup holder in your truck that's half full of pennies and gum wrappers. So grab yourself a cold drink, kick back, and let's dig into this coin mystery like we're panning for gold in the Wild West. This is going to be a ride full of laughs, facts, and yes, one personal story that'll make you check your coins a little closer from now on. And now, before we dive into the juicy details of the $1.1 million 2000 D quarter, let me take you back to a simpler time. It was a regular Tuesday. I'd just come back from the grocery store with a pocket full of change and a receipt long enough to reach the moon. As I sat down to sort through the coins, I was actually just avoiding doing dishes. I noticed something weird. There was a South Carolina quarter in the mix. Nothing unusual at first glance. Palmetto tree? Check. Bird? Check. D mint mark? Yup, but this one looked different. Something about the detail caught my eye. The relief was sharper, and the strike looked more defined, like it had more pride in itself. I held onto it, did some digging online, and boom, discovered this whole world of rare error coins and misstrikes worth more than my truck. Now don't get me wrong, that quarter wasn't the $1 million one. But it set me on a path. And buddy, I've been coin hunting ever since. Well, it's not just about the design or the year. This particular coin has what we call a minting error. And in the numismatic world, that's the world of coin collecting, if your new errors are gold. Sometimes literally the $1 million coin has a rare double die error, meaning the design elements on the coin were struck twice slightly off-center. This creates a ghost-like effect, especially visible on the lettering or details like the palmetto leaves or the bird's feathers. Another big reason this coin's value shot up is because it's in mint condition. I'm talking graded MS68 or higher by professionals. That means it's as crisp as the day it rolled out of the Denver Mint back in 2000. Now combine the rare error with its mint condition, and sprinkle in a dash of luck, voila. You got yourself a quarter that someone once paid $1.1 million for at a private auction. And no, they weren't drunk. And no, they weren't tricked. They were smart. Because rare coins like this are hot on the collector's market. The value keeps going up, especially with the rise in interest from younger collectors and old-school pros alike. Now, let's talk real quick about what to look for on your own 2000 D South Carolina quarters. First, flip it over and check the mint mark. It should be a clear D on the front of the coin, near Washington's ponytail. Next, check for any doubling in the text, especially around United States of America, e pluribus unum, and the word South Carolina on the reverse. If the lettering looks a little shadowed or ghosted, you may have a double die. Then check the design details. Are the leaves on the palmetto tree kind of blurry or doubled? Does the bird have what looks like two beaks? That's not a mutant bird, friend, that's $signs calling your name. Also check the rim. Some rare coins have partial collar errors, meaning they were struck weirdly on the edge. Those can be worth a chunk too. And lastly, check the condition. If it's scratched to heck or covered in pocket lint, it might not be worth much. But if it's clean, shiny, and has that original luster, you might be sitting on something special. Now let me circle back to that personal story I promised. After I got into coin collecting, I went full detective mode. Started carrying a jeweler's loupe in my truck. My buddies thought I'd lost it. One day I was at a local diner, had a killer meatloaf by the way, and I got change back for it $20. You better believe I checked every single coin before I walked out, and there it was, a 2000 D quarter. I stared at it like it held the secrets of the universe. Turned it, squinted, held it up to the light, nothing special, but the lady at the counter saw me and asked what I was doing. I told her about rare coins, and she said, "Honey, I've got a jar full of quarters at home. You think they're worth anything?" 2 days later she called me in a panic. Turns out she had a 1999 P Delaware quarter with a visible die crack. It wasn't $1 million coin, but she sold it online for over $400 from change she almost gave to her grandkid for candy. It's fun, it's addicting, and it might just be your side hustle or your ticket to millionaire status. Alright, my coin-loving legends, here's the bottom line. The 2000 D South Carolina quarter might look like every other coin, but one rare version of it is worth over $1 million. And if you know what to look for, you might just be the lucky person to find it. It all comes down to mint marks, errors, and condition. And a little bit of luck. Okay, a lot of luck. But hey, people win the lottery, right? Why not win big with a coin? Now before you run off and dump your whole piggy bank on the floor, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, stick around with me for more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth serious money. I'll teach you what to look for, how to sell, and which coins to never, ever spend. Drop it in the comments. Got a coin you want me to check out? Take a clear photo and send it my way. Together, we're gonna find treasure in the most unexpected places, like your pocket change. Alright, that's all for today. Now go check your quarters, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find the one that makes your wallet and your life a whole lot richer. Hey there, folks. Quick question for you: when was the last time you actually looked at your spare change? I'm not talking about glancing at it while you're fishing for $1 to tip the pizza guy. I mean, really looked. Because believe it or not, that one quarter you've been using to scrape ice off your windshield might just be worth $1 million. Yep. You heard me right. $1 million. Not Monopoly money. Real, honest to goodness, life-changing cash. Today we're diving deep into the 1999 P Mint State Quarter, a little coin with a huge secret. This coin might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but to collectors, it's like striking gold in your pocket lint. So stick around, because I'm about to tell you everything you need to know about this rare beauty, how to spot it, what makes it valuable, and why it's currently rocking a market value of $1 million at now. Before we jump in, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, the kind where you can buy rusty tools, knockoff watches, and the world's oldest Elvis memorabilia all in one row. I handed the guy a quarter for a used bottle opener, classy, I know, and he paused. Looked at the coin. Then he asked me, "You sure you want to spend this?" Turns out, I had a rare coin. Not this one, but another valuable quarter I had no clue about. That moment changed everything for me. I went from casual change dropper to full-on coin detective. And now I'm here to help you do the same. So let's break this down. We're talking about the Pennsylvania State Quarter, the second coin released in the 50 State Quarters program, minted at the Philadelphia Mint. It features the statue of the Commonwealth, a woman holding a staff and a ribbon, looking like she just walked out of an ancient Roman Senate meeting. Now, what makes this particular coin so special? It's not just about the design. It's about the errors, the condition, the rarity, and a little sprinkle of coin collector magic. Let's start with errors. Error coins are like typos in books, except collectors love them. We're talking about doubled dies, off-center strikes, missing layers, or even clipped planchets. On the 1999 Pennsylvania Quarter, one specific error stands out: a double die obverse, where you can actually see doubling in the lettering and the date. Imagine reading a street sign where all the letters are shadowed like a bad 90s graphic effect. That's what we're talking about. If your coin has this kind of error, it could be worth serious money. Mint luster and condition. A pristine 1999 P quarter that has never been in circulation is called an MS, Mint State, coin. These are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. You want to aim for MS 65 or higher if you're dreaming of that $1 million payday. The higher the grade, the shinier and more perfect the coin is. No scratches, no dings, no signs it's been in your junk drawer with batteries and old paper clips. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The $1 million value isn't just slapped on any old quarter. It's a combination of the coin being a high-grade MS 67 or better plus having one of those rare errors. It's the perfect storm of collectible awesomeness. Think of it like this: your quarter is rare because of an error, but it's valuable because it's in top-notch shape. You see, back in 1999, millions of these coins were minted. But how many survived untouched? How many never got tossed in a vending machine or dropped between car seats? Not many. So when a rare error coin in near-perfect condition surfaces, collectors go absolutely bananas. Now let me drop a little market knowledge on you. As of right now, and I mean currently, these 1999 P State quarters with that rare double die obverse in MS 67 or better condition are fetching up to $1 million at top auction houses. That's more than some folks' houses. I don't know about you, but I've never seen a vending machine quarter by someone a beach house before. People find these coins in the wild. It's not just coin dealers hoarding them in underground vaults. Regular people like you and me have stumbled across them in old change jars, coin rolls from the bank, even in tip jars at diners. Speaking of tip jars, true story, my cousin runs a little mom-and-pop diner in Ohio. One day, a guy pays for his breakfast with a few quarters. Nothing unusual, right? Until one of the staff notices something funky about one of the coins. Turns out it was a rare state quarter, worth over $5,000 in its condition. Not the $1 million unicorn, but enough to make a person sit down and rethink how they handle change. That story went around town faster than gossip at a church picnic. Ever since, everyone in the area has been scouring their quarters like they're looking for buried treasure. And who can blame them? Here's how you can start hunting for yours: grab a magnifying glass. A cheap one works fine. You're looking for any doubling in the letters, especially in Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, check the edges. Some rare errors involve partially missing outer layers. If your coin has a weird copper line or looks like it's peeling, it could be something special, weigh it. A normal quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it's way off, it could be struck on the wrong planchet, compare it online. There are tons of coin forums and collector sites with high-res images of known errors. Match it up. You might just hit the jackpot, send it in for grading. If you really think you've got a winner, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify the condition and authenticity, and potentially slap a huge price tag on your coin. Alright folks, we've covered a lot today. Who knew a little 1999p quarter could hold such jaw-dropping value? From rare mint errors to high-grade conditions, this tiny piece of change is proof that treasure can be hiding in plain sight right in your pocket. So the next time you get change at the gas station or dig through your couch cushions, don't just toss those quarters aside. Take a closer look. You might just be holding onto your retirement plan without even knowing it. If you found this video helpful or you just love the idea of hunting for treasure in your own home, hit that subscribe button. We've got loads more tips coming your way on coins worth money and how to spot the ones collectors are dying to get their hands on. Turn on those notifications too so you never miss a hidden gem. Now go check your change. That $1 million coin could be sitting under your couch cushion right now. Catch you next time, and happy hunting!